Hi guys, PJ here. Today I'm doing a bit of a fitter's review on the Nextbase 322 dashcam. Now if you follow my channel you know I do a heck of a lot of install guides on this type of thing and anything else car electrical. So for fitting this to your vehicle, obviously just search my channel. I've got literally over 90% of all UK European vehicles on there of how to hardwire these cameras into your ignition. Very simple job. So just look for the guide. This is more to look at the actual camera, what you get with it, how it fits, quality issues. Because I've been dealing with these for years, I sort of know a little bit about reliability issues that can crop up, etc. So I'm hoping to touch on that. First things first, let's have a look at the spec of the camera. Now this is a mid-range camera, this is a 322 and this is a 1080p camera. So it's pretty high res, you will be able to zoom a number plate in from a good distance away, it's normally adequate. Nighttime mode on it is okay. So when it's a darker one, if you try and zoom a number plate in on your footage, yes, to a degree. 1440p camera is better for the nighttime one because it does get a bit speckly, the image does. But this one, as you can see, where we are full HD 1080p. Now, you can either view the footage from these on a PC or you can use the app. There you go, designed for Android, designed for iPhone. There's an app for both of them. You just type Nextbase and find the app. And then you can view all the normally little 3-minute video files, all date and timed, that the camera has recorded. So let's get in the box, see what it comes with. As we open the box, we've got your little thank you card. And also got a quick start guide there. Pretty Billy basic stuff though, to be fair, these are. I mean, they are literally follow the on-screen prompts, so you can't really get them wrong. There we go, thank you for purchasing, etc. Camera itself tucked away. Let's unwrap that. Now, if you're having this fitted, you probably have had this cellophane pulled off, but it clearly says there, charge the camera for up to 2 hours before use. Now, most people will plug this in and start driving. What that means is there's an internal battery in these things, okay? It needs a decent charge before it will remember its time and date and things like that, okay? So 2 hours of driving to actually charge the thing up. If you could plug it in at home, it normally uses the same connector as a mobile phone. It's a mini USB connector. You could actually charge it at home for a couple of hours before it goes in. And that's just basically to get the internal battery up to full spec. Now, speaking of the internal battery, these do have a parking mode, which is for short stay duration, really. I do sort of see people where I'm sort of exchanging these and what have you, where they've been booked in but to me to get them basically replaced because they are faulty. Well, if you try to run parking mode for an extended period of time, they're not designed for that. It normally either wrecks the memory card or the internal battery on the unit. So they're not a surveillance camera, guys. Don't buy them as a surveillance camera. If you need a surveillance camera, I'm afraid you're going to have to actually buy one and some storage medium to record from it. These short-term parking mode only. Yes, you can buy a power cable that will run it on a longer duration parking mode, but just bear in mind, you're going to burn your memory card out pretty damn quickly. So although they'll say you can write to the memory card many times, it's surprising how fast they actually burn out and start causing problems. So parking mode, short stay only. By that I'm meaning, a couple of hours, no more sort of thing. If you're going to leave your car at an airport and think your parking mode's got it covered, not a chance. So, what else do we get in this box then? We get a power cable that plugs into your cigarette lighter. We also get a sticky-backed window screen mount, a 3M one. A suction mount for the window screen, so if you want to move it from car to car, that one's ideal. This one's more permanent. And what have we got here? USB cable for plugging it into a computer. So there's your charging cable, in other words, guys, or your data copying. Spare sticky pad and a trim leverage tool for you to try and basically hide your power cable if you want to. It saves damaging your trim using a screwdriver. So camera itself. Peel off the little covers. This has a magnetic mount, so you pop this little panel off. Look, little hidey hole there. There's a magnet in the middle, and obviously peel that off as well. There's a connector on the side for a rear camera. If you buy the Nextbase rear camera, it sort of plugs into there. USB card in there. Power on and off, but it'll go on and off with your ignition anyway, so you don't really need that. And an optional power mount here. So if you want to plug your power cable directly into the camera, you can so here. I'm using the sticky pad mount, so my power cable is going to go into here. So let's have a look how the mount goes on. If we lie that flat, like I say, it's magnetic. It's so you can pull it off should you park in a bad area. Now the magnet's really strong, so if you're using this 3M mount, make sure you hold it to the window screen for the first couple of days before you try and pull the camera off, because otherwise you'll pull the mount clean off the window. Normally your car heater in sort of colder countries is a good idea. Put that on, let it heat it up a bit. It's on a pivot, so it, you know, it rotates. You can sort of position it nicely. You can have it pointing down so it gets both corners of your bonnet. Let's power it up. First things first, you'll notice I've mounted it really high on the window screen. That's because in this country, anything in the wiper sweep area is normally classed as an obstruction and therefore illegal. Obviously some people do want them down here, but you know, just giving you a heads up there, guys. When you switch it on, you've got your language selection. We'll go with English there. This is the only one I can really understand, so English is good. But there you go, you've got a selection of countries. You can click other, go through them all, etc. UK and Ireland, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. There we go. Now this is waiting for the app, so the owner of the vehicle is going to basically download the app and Bluetooth connection to it so that they can view all the little 3-minute video files remotely on their phone. Now you can either copy them from the camera directly to the phone or remote view on the phone, so that's quite a nice feature. Some cameras don't have a screen on them and they are a bit of a pain to set up. This one, as you can see, does. It's very easy to use. It's waiting for a satellite link there to set the day and time, so satellite does all that for you. But we also have video settings, audio, sorry, phone struggling to focus there, audio on and off, etc. Video length, exposure. I wouldn't change the exposure if I was you. It is set for Europe, UK. Model stamp, time stamp if you want it all on your video. It will also put your GPS on your video for you. Just bear in mind as well, these things record your speed, so watch your speed, guys. If you're in a low speed limit area and you're doing, I don't know, 33 to 30, yeah, you'll be classed as the one that's caused the accident, so just bear that one in mind. There you go, you've got G sensor, the shock sensor in other words, how much sensitivity it requires to set it off. And we go back, we've also got your screensaver, which I always put on. So in other words, the screen goes off after 30 seconds while you're driving along and doesn't distract you. Next up, you're going to need a memory card. Make sure you get the right class memory card. You notice in the little corner here, this is a U1. If you're running a 4K camera, you're going to need a U3 class. It's to do with the speed of the card and how much information you can basically record onto the card. This is a 1080p camera. This is fine, U1. Like I say, if you're running a 4K card, or a front and a rear camera, you're going to need a U3 class card. So what do we think of this camera overall? I mean, I've fitted hundreds and hundreds of these. The failure rate is very low. I say it's normally associated with people using parking mode as a surveillance mode when it's not designed to do that. The memory cards last very well. Obviously if you're a taxi driver, you're going to get through them pretty quickly. No big issues. The only thing I'm going to point out to you, and it doesn't really relate to front cameras, if you're running one of these with a rear camera and you have DAB audio, so DAB radio in your car, more than likely it will interfere and you will lose DAB reception on your radio. The rear cameras aren't too well shielded, so it interferes. Front camera, not a problem. You will have no problems at all. So these are a good bit of kit. Highly recommend them. As for price, guys, you're gonna have to search around. I don't deal with anything like that to do with price, but they are available from like Amazon and, you know, online retailers, some car places, etc. Good bit of kit, worth the purchase, to be honest with you. Seen them working, know they do the job very well. And guys, that's it. That's my opinion on the camera. Worth the purchase, worth the sort of money that they sell for. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye for now.